Churros! I am so excited today to show you how to take your traditional churro to a whole nother level with some glittery sugar, rainbow sprinkles. These are gonna look cute and they're gonna taste amazing. I'm gonna show you how to make your churros look like churros and not witch hands. So we're gonna get started with our churro dough. This is actually a choux pastry. A choux pastry is delicious. You use it to make cream puffs and you also use it to make churro dough. So we're gonna get things started in our saucepan with a cup of water. And I have this on about medium-low heat. I'm gonna add some butter and some brown sugar. And we're just gonna bring this up to a boil. So I'm gonna let this cook and maybe turn the heat up just a little bit. You don't want the butter to burn, so don't get crazy and go all the way up to high. Keep it at about medium-low just until it starts bubbling. All right, now that this is lightly bubbling, I'm gonna add in our flour. And we're just gonna stir this in until this creates a soft dough. And it's almost like you can the dough pulls away from the sides of the pan. So just keep on stirring until it gets evenly combined. You don't want a ton of like clumps in your dough, so if you can just kind of vigorously stir this guy. So you can see this is starting to pull away from the side of the pan. I don't see any large clumps of flour. So I'm gonna take this off the heat and then quickly I'm gonna add in 2 eggs and I'm gonna add them one at a time just until each one gets combined. So I'm gonna add this first egg. And again, you wanna do this really quickly. You don't wanna like start the dough, get on Instagram, like a few photos, come back. No, give all your attention to this. I promise it will be worth it. All right, last egg. And this should just create a really pretty soft dough. And your dough should be getting more doughy. Your dough should be getting more sort of loose and soft. Okay, this looks awesome. Our dough is still pulling away from the sides of the pan. You don't really want to over stir it. So once you get it combined, perfect. Now I'm gonna add some vanilla. Just to add a hit of vanilla to the dough. It's gonna give it an extra pop of flavor. These are gonna be so tasty. This looks beautiful, and we're gonna move from this dough right into piping it. So the reason we're using a piping bag is because the piping bag is gonna give us more control over the churros. The absolute last thing you wanna have happen in your life is you're standing over a pot of hot oil and you're just using a plastic bag in it and just squirting stuff. Not good. We wanna have super controlled output of our dough so that we get those really pretty churro shapes. And also, the churros, this is a key, is the star tip on the piping bag. This tip gives churros their signature little ridges on the sides. So, I'm gonna pipe our dough into this bag. And it's okay if it's still warm, that is no problem. And when you get to this stage in your dough, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and start heating up your oil. You wanna fry these churros in like a vegetable oil or a canola oil. Any kind of olive or avocado oil will get really smoky, so try and keep it at a vegetable or canola oil. Okay, there we go, perfect. All right, so I have our churro set up all ready to go. I have our dough. We have our beautiful glittery standing sugar and our rainbow sprinkles we're gonna put on top. And then I'm busting out the big guns. I'm actually using an induction burner to cook these churros. I love to use an induction burner when I need to get something really hot and I really want to control the temperature of whatever I'm cooking. So for example, with this oil, I have a handy thermometer in the oil to tell me the temperature. You really want the oil to be at about 350 to 375. Anything hotter than 375, your churros are gonna look a little bit brown. So that's gonna really help us monitor the temperature of the oil. So I'm ready to pipe and also have a pair of scissors on hand to cut the churro to the size and length that you want. Awesome. And sometimes this happens, you guys, the dough comes out of the top. Actually, you can kind of just smush it back in because it's so soft and pliable. Not a big deal. Woo, this oil's hot. And just keep turning your churros in the oil till they get evenly golden brown on all sides. Perfect, this looks amazing. The great thing about making churros at home is you don't have to stand in line at a theme park. You don't have to wait in line anywhere. You can just make them hot and fresh at home. They're great for birthday parties. They're a super special treat, and they're really not that hard to make. So get your fry on, everybody. These look perfect. So cute. So the reason why I'm making these churros a little bit smaller than maybe your traditional churro is because when you take a picture of churros, they have a tendency to look like spindly witch hands, which is not what we want. We want these to be beautiful and golden brown, perfect for dipping. And also, you can make more out of the batter if you make them a little smaller. So when your friends and family come over, you have more to serve up. And also, sometimes when you're piping the churros, some of them do come out a little bit bigger. The dough expands in the oil, or you don't cut it at the same time. But that's okay, because even for photo, you can kind of tuck them up under the smaller ones, and they still taste as good. Okay, so on our last churro, these all look amazing. Make sure you have them on a wire rack instead of putting them just straight down on paper towels. They can get soggy if you just let them sit that way. So I'm gonna fry up this last churro, and then I'm gonna sprinkle these generously with our sanding sugar. That sparkly white's gonna look so good, and it sticks on better when they're hot. I'm also gonna top these with a little bit of sprinkles, and then we're gonna save the rest of the sprinkles for plating over for the photo and for serving. These churros look done. They have our sugar and our sprinkles on top, and I'm gonna take these over to style them up. So we have our churros all fried up. They look beautiful. We have our sanding sugar on there with the rainbow sprinkles. And I love how we set this up. I love this light pink blush plate on this blue surface with pink tones in it. We also have this really cute pink little metal dish you can also line with parchment paper. Put your churros in like they're ready to serve. And we also have melted some white chocolate for these churros. I love churros dipped in chocolate. And I think it's super fun to do the white chocolate. A quick tip on melting white chocolate. You want to make sure that the bowl that you melt your white chocolate in is not wet at all. So for smooth, glossy white chocolate, melt it in the microwave in a dry bowl. And probably at 30-second intervals, stir it, heat it up again. So I'm gonna style some churros on the plate, and then I'm gonna have some back here, kind of more of that fiesta party feel with our churros, like we're gonna serve them up to our guests. So I'm gonna pick out the churros that I feel like look the best. They're the most even, more golden brown. And the trick with churros is you don't want it to look like they're like fingers coming at you. So I'm gonna try and orient these so that they're stacked in a really cool way so they're not all just flat. And also we're gonna do a dip shot with these because I think that's a super cool photo. Who doesn't want a churro dipped in white chocolate? It's gonna be delicious, but it looks really cool in photo too. So I'm gonna stack these churros up on here. It's kind of a cute little stack. Love that. Maybe put one more in the background. Cute. And then I'm gonna add some more sprinkles. And you kind of have to do this delicately to get them to stay on the churro in the little ridges. Just carefully. This looks so cute. Such a fun party, bright feel. I love that. And then I'm gonna put the rest of these churros stacked behind. You're just gonna serve them up to your friends. They're nice and light and crispy. Cute. And voila, that looks great. And then I also want to add sprinkles to the surface to kind of reinforce that colorful, fun, vibrant idea. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle these around. So cute, add some texture. And then I'm going to put some on the white chocolate too to add a little bit more of that party feel. So cute. I mean, I think we need some more sprinkles because sprinkles are fun and tasty. Perfect. These smell incredible. I cannot wait to take a bite. But first I'm going to take a couple photos of how amazing these look. Oh my word. These are slamming delicious. So good. I want to see how you played it perfect. Tag pictures of your churros on Instagram @PopKitchen, and also comment below and let me know what you want to see us style next.